If you're looking for the best emergency radios, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Midland RON120/RON120 as emergency weather alert radio. In addition to its functionality and ease of use, the Midland RON120/RON120 as no emergency weather alert radio stands out for being configurable into multiple languages: English, French, and Spanish. It also features 25 programmable locations, so users can check out conditions in other parts of the country if needed or wanted. The built-in SANE technology helps ensure that users can always receive alerts specifically pertaining to their home region. There is an option to select a preferred type of alert: a siren alarm, a voice alert, or a flashing LED light. Plug the Midland radio into any standard outlet or power it with 2Ah batteries. It was tested in an office space, where we left it plugged in and on. At any time, users could walk past it and hit the weather/snooze button to get an update on the latest weather warnings in their area. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Sangean MMR88M/FM/Weather+Alert Emergency Radio. The Sangean MMR88M/FM/Weather+Alert Emergency Radio comes in a small package, at only 5.98 by 2.71 by 3.3 inches, but it's packed with power. Of all the casings we tested, this one felt the most sturdy and durable, although its heavy plastic and reinforced edges could take a beating if the user were in an emergency weather situation. It has several power options, including a hand crank generator, a solar charging panel, and DC. On testing, the rechargeable battery was installed upon arrival. However, the battery was dead when it arrived, so we had to charge it for the first use, and we tried the solar panel meanwhile. The manufacturer recommends using the solar panel only in emergency situations. It's not really designed to power the radio all the time, and with good reason. It takes 15 hours to charge the battery with sunlight, and it needs to be direct sunlight, very direct. The number 3 position is held by RunningSnail Emergency Crank Radio. If the built-in lithium-ion battery in the RunningSnail emergency radio runs down, the radio's hand crank will generate all the energy necessary to listen to weather and news reports and operate the unit's super bright flashlight. The radio receives M/FM and no broadcast, and it comes with a USB port for charging a cell phone or a tablet. During testing, the M/FM reception was exceptionally clear. However, the no broadcasts were much more difficult to find. Yes, we could get on the weather band, but a stiff manual dial made it difficult to tune into a station. The reception for the station we did find wasn't great. For strictly weather purposes, this model wasn't the best. Next at number 4 we have Midland ERT-110 Emergency Compact Crank Radio. The Midland ERT-110 Emergency Compact Crank Weather M/FM radio comes in a deceptively small size that belies its reception abilities. The M/FM radio picks up a strong signal, and the speaker provides surprisingly loud audio. The M/FM radio and the weather radio work with a digital tuner. In some ways, that's easier to use than a dial, but it takes longer to find stations unless you already know which one you're headed for. The radio runs with a USB power cord, a battery, solar power, or by hand crank. The crank is easy to turn and hides well into the casing, creating a smooth outer appearance. 3 flashlight settings can come in handy in an emergency situation. It has a very bright high beam and a low beam, as well as a soft signal. The number 5 position is held by ROCAM Emergency M/FM/SW No Weather Radio. With its telescoping antenna, the ROCAM Emergency Radio is at the top of its class for picking up a variety of broadcast frequencies, including M/FM, shortwave, and no broadcast. The antenna boosts the radio's range to receive stations at a greater distance than other radios can. This model got incredible reception and was very easy to tune to NOAA. We could either use a manual dial or a dial that went to each of the 7 weather band stations. We could tune to a shortwave, but then this was one of the few radios that even had that option. The number 6 position is dominated by Kaito CAF 105-way powered solar power emergency radio. The multifunctional Kaito K505WAM/FM/SW/NOAA Weather Alert radio receives the 7 NOAA bands and 2 shortwave bands. This means it offers broadcasts from other countries. Reception quality is high, and the radio has 5 power options: by hand crank, flip-up solar panel, AC adapter, battery, 3 NIMA rechargeable batteries, or USB. Those power options are really this model's strength since users can find a way to charge in most situations. The Kaito does not disappoint in terms of added features, as it includes a built-in charger for mobile devices, a reading light, a flashlight, and an exhaust beacon. However, the Kaito isn't the easiest radio to use. It has an on/off button on the front, but that only turns on some of the features. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Eton, American Red Cross FRX3 Plus Emergency NOAA Radio. The Eton American Red Cross Weather Radio gets great reception on all 7 NOAA broadcast bands and is versatile and durable enough for use at home or in remote locations. With its multiple power options, hand crank, batteries, 3 NIMA rechargeable batteries, solar panel, or AC adapter, vital news is available in virtually any situation. In testing, this was one of the easier models to tune into the NOAA broadcast bands and general radio stations. The Eton Red Cross Radio includes a port for charging mobile devices, a headphone jack for private listening, a digital clock, and a glow-in-the-dark locator that makes the radio easy to grab during an emergency. It can also charge other devices. The number 8 position is held by RunningSnail MB90 Weather Radio. Right out of the box, this radio seemed well designed. It is pretty durable, and for the size, you can't beat the features that come with it. There are a lot of features crammed into a unit of this size. I can fit this into the front pocket of my jeans. Yes, it is uncomfortable, but it can be done. The LED light on the front is a decent size and puts out enough light to be useful for navigating in the dark. It is also nice to have the reading lamp, which can light a small room. The hand crank on the back is well concealed and feels pretty sturdy. I also like how the shallow angle allows for easy turning without it wanting to fold in on itself. I know this seems a little nitpicky, but when you're winding this thing for several hours, it starts to drive you insane. Next at number 9 we have RunningSnail Emergency Hand Crank Radio. This weather radio is the smallest on the list. It can easily be fit into a pocket and taken on the go with little thought. The LED flashlight is bright for its size, and the crank handle is just about as perfectly situated as you can get. It feels like a pretty tough low radio and doesn't have any trouble picking up weather bands, AM, or FM stations. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Baofeng BF8 radio. Just a quick disclaimer, this radio isn't considered a weather radio, but it gives us a good comparison between 2 types of radios. In this case, a ham radio and a weather radio. This radio is considered to be one of the best two-way radios on the market. On top of being able to tune FM and NOAA stations, you have the ability to tune VHF and UF frequencies as well. Being able to transmit on many different bands during a survival scenario could get you rescued very quickly. If your life isn't on the line, then it could land you a hefty fine. Just don't transmit unless you are properly trained and licensed. This radio has many features and requires the user to read the manual in order to figure out how to properly use it. But when you put in the time, you have capabilities that far exceed the lowly weather radio. That's all for today. We upload fishing product review videos every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.